Hey folks, it's Max here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us today with some more All Elite Wrestling for another episode of Dynamite. We actually have a bit of news for you before we start. We have taken over, we have bought out Rev Pro. Because of their situation, obviously not having a TV show, not having a network, I didn't feel there was much benefit in terms of obviously gaining popularity with some of the workers, of getting them as a development company, and quite frankly, because of the money we've invested into our media, I didn't feel it was financially viable either. So we just pillaged them. We have taken all their belts that we'll just archive basically, and we have took a lot of the roster. But of course most of them will be on like handshake deals, so we can let them go if need be. I've also signed a lot of others from around the place, a lot of Joshies, just really workers as well, where I just want to give them an opportunity. So they're on the 6-month handshake deal, the deal that you'll predominantly see on the Impact Wrestling save. It really bulks up the roster and allows the more, the more AEW, the homegrown, if you will, workers to gain momentum and not take the L. But at the same time, you can develop the other workers, and they can gain some popularity from the exposure that they get on Dynamite. Anyway, we've got another show. We are heading towards the New Year Spectacular. Without me blithering on much longer, let's do it. So we're just short of 13,000 at the Von Braun Centre, and you're introduced straight off the bat to one of those new recruits. In our dark portion of the show, we have Cassie defeat Maya Yukihi. Gonna butcher that so badly. In 5:48 with the bitch kick. 45 here. Maya debuts her flamboyant gimmick, which got an initial rating of great. Personally, at the time of recording, don't know a lot about her, but her stats look good, so yeah, let's see how she does. But I win for Cassie, obviously putting over the AEW talent in this instance. Will Hobbs defeats T-Hawk in 6:54 by pinfall. This was a 42. We actually had to protect T-Hawk here to put Will Hobbs over, but he's gained some good overness so far working in dark shows. Hopefully Will Hobbs can continue to improve. We had an abysmal pre-show match that saw Ali defeat Maki Ito in 8:48 with the sit-out facebuster. Ito debuts her idol gimmick, which got an initial rating of great, because she is an idol, and the 46 is really good there. But as I say, I think someone like Ito will definitely have a great long-term future with us, but I'm going to wait till she learns English in-game, because when the idol gimmick, she can obviously sing, act and all that, so I really want to put that to full use, and Ali could use the momentum boost, so she picks up the win. We had an abysmal pre-show match that saw Audio Tai defeat Fire and Flavour in 7:33 when Jamie Hayter pinned Tasha Steelz. Again, someone who was available was both Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. They arrived, but it is Audio Tai who pick up the win in 39 with Steelz and Hogan's new gimmicks, both being awful, but they showed excellent chemistry together. Looking forward to see how they do. They're young enough that they can develop a lot, and I fully expect them to be a full written member of the team in the roster at one point. We also had an abysmal pre-show match that saw Lance Archer defeat TK Cooper in 9:01 with the blackout. TK with the underdog gimmick and initial rating of great, but of course this match was just to make Lance Archer look great. And we have an injury, a scaphold fracture, which is not ideal. In the 44 rated match, we had Jungle Boy defeat Gabriel Kidd in 9:12 by pinfall. Jungle Boy's performance stood out here. Gabriel Kidd with the cocky gimmick, which is very good, but the injury is not ideal. This was our all-out match, I believe. Steal the show, and we have not reaped the benefit of that. We have had the misfortune of that injury, but we'll see what happens. But there's a lot more people that will debut on the show as enhancement talents, and there's some where we just need to fit them in. Like one I'll give away is El Phantasmo. Obviously I know he's in Bullet Club in Japan, I think, or was at the time of recording, and I just need to personally learn more about him, if I'm being honest, with my limited outside of the US knowledge. So I'll keep an eye on that, but he's someone that stats look good, the overness was good, and I felt like he's someone with a bit of solid hand. But anyway, we start the show with our 100 segment with no Cody. We have Prince Devitt, Pac and MJF. And we have Prince Devitt and Pac who'll be teaming up in the main event tonight. So they're just talking about, yeah, it's fine, we respect each other, we know we're both talented athletes, we both obviously have our eyes on the prize. Devitt wants to become a TNT champion and respects that Pac is the world champion and wishes to retain that. MJF comes down just to try and, yeah, shit stir basically, and he just says, they should watch their back tonight because they say he is looking to take any advantage he can before he takes Pac's championship when it comes down to the New Year Spectacular. I believe, if I remember, is it Marq Quen in the main event? I think it's Marq Quen and someone, and Ricky Starks, I want to guess. So what happens when you book the show the night before and record it the day after. I think the main event is Prince Devitt and Pac versus Marq Quen and Ricky Starks, obviously two members of Uprising, alongside MJF, but the 100 puts less pressure on the main event. With a matchup that saw Tommy End defeat Tyler Bate in 9:06 with the Owari Death Foot Stomp. A 72, good matchup here, but we have to give the veteran the victory here because there is stuff we want to do with Tommy End, and he picks up the win over the young Brit. And after the matchup, to add insult to injury, end of war, him, Hansen and Raymond Rowe, all three of them beat down Tyler Bate to leave a statement. 65. With a decent matchup that saw Shinsuke Nakamura defeat Ace Austin in 10-14 by pinfall with a Rungo single leg knee strike. A 71 saw a good matchup between these two. Obviously Nakamura were trying to get over despite his physical decline, which hurts me in every save, but he is the man. And Ace Austin gets to work with a spectacular opponent. It's one of those ones where if Nakamura never had that decline, there was a bit more over. These two could potentially have a stormbreaker in a match, but happy with that. Nakamura picks up another victory. Backstage we see Ace Austin just bumping into Cody again and just basically looks a wee bit downbeat, but even though he's a heel, he's still listening to Cody, and Cody just says, you're unlucky, you carry yourself well, a little bit of arrogance never hurt anybody, just keep at it and your time will turn. So a 72 here. Cody struggled off script, Ace Austin did well off script, and it was a 72. That means something. We ended about the great heat, good wrestling, and could have probably been invented if we wanted, as Hangman defeated Austin Creed in 11:26 with the turn of page. 80, fantastic, good to have Hangman back. He gets the 95 here, Creed with the 60, so it just shows how big a miss he's been with his injury, but he comes back with a win. After this, he cuts a promo and he says, I've been gone for a couple of months due to my injury. Don't really like the fact folk like Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura are coming in and taking my spotlight. Just unfortunately he was in the wrong place at the wrong time last week where Joe decided to defeat Shawn Spears. You don't mess with Spears, you don't mess with the Butcher, you don't mess with the Blade, or you've got a problem with Hangman and Hangman's posse. So 78 there, Hangman just basically threatening Samoa Joe, and that could be a potential match at the New Year's Showcase, and a spectacular. I'd quite like to see that. Joe and Hangman, be quite good. But a 78 promo for Hangman. We had our 6-woman tag. It was an abysmal matchup that saw the Dark Order's Abaddon, Priscilla Kelly and Anna Jay defeat Danny Luna, Gazelle Shaw and Lana Austin in 4:45 when Anna Jay pinned Lana Austin. Gazelle was a weak link here. They're debuting old school face, legit athlete and fan favourite gimmicks, but again, free talents we can work with. We can see if any of them want to stay. They're all obviously brought in from Rev Pro on those contracts, but it was basically just an enhancement match here to give the victory to the Dark Order's female trio. 25 for that. After the matchup, the three ladies are with Sir Brody Lee, and Brody just basically praises them, just saying it's some really, really good stuff. Just keep yourself in good shape and we'll be in a good position to take the mixed championships. Anna, we will not give up on that, and Abaddon and Priscilla, as soon as they give the all clear to to Hikaru, Riho right enough. Terrible, I'm getting them mixed up. Riho, Hart and Mayu Iwatani will be in your sights. and that's a 58. We then had the backstage angle where, of all people, Luster and Peter Avalon attacked the Young Bucks from behind. So obviously we had a little bit of an issue with Nick Jackson and Eddie Kingston, and the two goons have left the Young Bucks down and out, and that was a 65. Eddie Kingston was in action next, and he took on Joey Janela, with Eddie Kingston defeating the Bad Boy in 602 with the Blackout Lariat. A 49. Overall, good victory there for Eddie Kingston. Joey Janela's getting a little bit stale. Did we have to? I think we had to protect him here. Yeah, to protect Joey Janela, but Eddie Kingston picks up the victory. Leads to a promo from Eddie, and he just says, well, what we saw before my match was just what happens when you disrespect Eddie Kingston. Nick Jackson had the audacity to come up just because we had a problem with Brandon Cutler. Who cares about Brandon Cutler? He's nothing but a loser. Obviously the Bucks do, and we must have got to them. Well, I'll tell you what, Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, there's two of you, there's three of me, Avalon and Luster. Bring it. So that's a 52 promo from Eddie Kingston. We then had the mixed tag titles on the line, as we had a decent reaction to this one, as Kenny Omega and Hikaru Shida defeated Brian Cage and Kamille in 14:27 when Shida pinned Kamille with the Majo no Enechi. 6 title defence, again just giving him another opportunity. What I wanted to actually do here was actually give Brian Cage a chance. He's obviously just back from his injury, so I feel like we'll put him with Kamille again. We'll see how they do in mixed tag action. Just a shame he was off his game, but Kenny looks great. A 74. It's a shame I'd want him in the main event, but I feel like he's the man that can help carry the women's division, get that up to an appropriate level where he can be proud of it, because it is his, what he's responsible for in real life. So I'd really like to see if he can help elevate, especially some of the Japanese women that he's obviously brought over, and I feel like he could do that down in this save. And the main event, it was Marq, Quen and Ricky Starks. 81. So absolutely delighted with that. So big up Ricky Starks and Marq Quen for bringing it, because that is a main event worthy match on a TV taping at the moment for Dynamite, especially when you're trying to give people an opportunity. And about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Pac and Prince Devitt defeat Marq Quen and Ricky Starks in 21:33 when Devitt pinned Marq Quen with Shingata Prince's throne. Pac was head and shoulders above the rest with a 96, Devitt 81, and 60 performances from the Uprisings, Ricky Starks and Marq Quen. But 81 overall, delighted with that. So yeah, I'll absolutely take that. Delighted with that. As I say, I'm shocked it was so high, but good on them. I'm in the show with Darby Allin rushing to the ring, taking down Prince Devitt before using a double foot stomp, a coup de grace if you will, and proceeds to taunt and stand above him with the TNT Championship. So Darby came out of it looking excellent. 83 segment, and the show itself brings us an 84, which increased their popularity in 14 regions. I don't mind not gaining too much in terms of popularity in the States now. I feel like we're kind of at a peak where we can be, where we've got an industry in decline, and we're kind of trying to build a lot of stars. So I don't want to keep putting the same people in 6-man tags, because if you do that, it's going to get very, very boring and repetitive very quickly. So we need to start bringing people to that level, which may say a wee hit in the US, but if we can still stay comfortably above where we're at in terms of pop, we'll be fine. So it's slightly a wee bit of a transition year, but yeah, I'm happy with it. We'll be able to see here what we've got. So Steven Regal, best commentator, car commentator. Jungle Boy is out for a few months. There you go, 27 for your economy, 52 for the industry. Both are falling, but there gives you an idea how much a light mod this is. Just under 1,000 workers and 10 active companies. But as I say, over time will be important people, which I've done quite a good bit so far. Important people, especially from the Who and the Real World Chronicle mod, currently done by NLG. Eddie, we were just going to give you a major matchup. What have you done? We're going to fine him. He's unhappy? We're also looking to get La Sombra. We're in high negotiations versus the WWE for him, and we're also looking to bring in Layla Hirsch. Penelope Ford got a new contract, that's fine. 8,000 and her TV tape was a 2.51. I'll deal with the Penelope Ford contract later. And 40 days, that's fine. Nah, we'll just let them work that. We've got a lot of people coming back soon. Only one that's really long term is Isaiah Cassidy. Obviously Shima's been out for a long time. But you saw a few people looking to debut there. You'll see them over time. Sooner rather than later. So that's going to be it for this episode. We'll go ahead and now book Dynamite. And next week will be, Lightning. And next week will be the go home shows for both before we head to the new year. Spectacular. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember to always say good day and good night. And I will see you soon. Bye bye.